Hey. In a previous video, we rated to the 10th place to visit in Norway.
Yes!
Now we are extending to the top 25 place to visit in the Nordic countries. So it's gonna be Sweden, Finland, Norway, Iceland.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I'm forgetting something. Let's get started.
Let's go!
What's up guys, my name is Ryan Shirley and I spent the last few summers exploring Europe's Nordic countries and I want to show you
Whoa.
my favorite places. So here's my Nordics top 25. The Nordics have to be one of my all-time favorite regions. It's made up of Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and Iceland. They offer some of the world's most unique landscapes, from the fjords of Norway to the dramatic sea cliffs of the Faroe Islands. The Nordics have so much to offer. Let's start this video off in Lofoten. Now, Lofoten Islands are located in northern Norway, and even though it's in the Arctic Circle, you feel like you're on a tropical island there. I was lucky enough to go there about 2 summers ago, and I had an incredible journey road tripping through Lofoten. Our first pit stop was
this where they have that big accent? Do you remember that guy? He was swearing at the cops in a video that we reacted to. I think he was from around that area. That guy.
Village called Henningsvjar to see the world's most scenic football field. When we got there, we sadly didn't have a soccer ball, but we had a good time playing on the field and enjoying the incredible views of Henningsvjar. We kept on driving and made it to the iconic town of Rain. Now, when you think of Norway, this is it. It has those red houses surrounded by massive sea mountains. In my opinion, I'd have to say that Rain is the most beautiful town in Lofoten. When I was planning my road trip to Norway, I remember seeing pictures of this place and I just couldn't believe it existed. The Lofoten Islands
look at the contrast of color.
Summertime, and they look just as magical during the winter. Now, the snow-covered peaks contrasted with the ocean create a one-of-a-kind scenery. Now, while it's still cold there.
Whoa, look at this!
Wait, is this real?
Yes, look, it's the soccer field from not from earlier, but the soccer field, the town, the ice. It looked like, wow, you're lucky to not have like a natural disaster. Like something happened like crazy, like everything could collapse. It's so well.
Ocean's Gulf Stream, Lofoten has a much more mild climate compared to other places in the world with the same altitude.
Whoa, look, there's a road.
Lofoten, I just recommend you make a road trip across all the islands. On the drive, you'll experience some of the most incredible landscapes.
Look at
such
that
as
bridge.
The pointy peak near Ramberg, or the small fishing village of Hanoi.
Oh my god, I like this.
Every turn is going to take your breath away. After exploring the Lofoten Islands, we're going to visit the nearby Stetind mountain. Now, special thanks to my friend Simon Brack for providing his footage. He has some of the best van vlogs of him and his girlfriend road tripping across Norway. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. Stetind is the national mountain of Norway with an elevation of 1,392 meters. It's just unbelievable how pointed and jagged it is. I've never seen anything like it before. Now, while we're still in northern Norway, we're going to head up to the island of Senja. Senja is Norway's second largest island. To get there, I flew into Tromsø, Norway, and then rented a car and made the 3-hour drive there. The reason I wanted to go to Senja was because I wanted to hike to Segla. I drove to this town called Fjordard, and I got to the base of the hike. It was a surprisingly difficult hike, but eventually I made it to the top, and I was just baffled by the view. The rock formation rose hundreds of meters out of the ocean. It was just like nothing I've ever seen before. Now, I was just having an amazing time, and I decided I wanted to spend the night on top of the mountain.
Wow, did you see there's a town at the bottom? Crazy, there's a town at the bottom.
To spend the night on top of the mountain.
In the middle.
Oh my god, you got to sleep here. All I had was a blanket.
Why not?
And I used my camera bag as a pillar.
Would you do it?
I found this little mossy cliff ledge, and I set up camp there and waited
I'm
for
not
the
even sure that I'm gonna get up
Around
there.
11 p.m., I woke up to the Aurora Borealis above.
That's what you want to see, right? Before you die, you want to see
surprisingly
this.
fast. Like snakes in the Arctic sky. And seeing those lights made me feel like a kid again, and it will forever be one of the most special nights of my life. Some nights you don't need to fall asleep to start dreaming. After experiencing northern Norway, we're going to head over to Iceland to witness the land of fire and ice. I have to say that Iceland is home to some of the world's most unique landscapes. From volcanic craters to a blue lagoon, the country just has so much to offer. I went to Iceland a few years ago and I was just blown away by the country. One of my favorite places was Reynifjara Beach. It's this black sand beach. That's about a 2-hour drive from Reykjavik. What I really loved about the beach is
the sand is black
in the ocean. It makes you wonder how the Vikings must have felt when they washed up on the Icelandic shores. After Reynifjara,
the what?
Czech Vikings
look like
must
human.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's scary.
Felt when they washed up on the Icelandic shores. After Reynisfjord Fire, you can check out Skogafoss waterfall. It's one of the most impressive
the Viking
waterfalls
did
in
it?
Iceland with a drop of over 60 meters. You can also drive an hour east on the Ring Road and visit one of the most
Wow.
scenic canyons in Iceland.
I mean, come on.
You can also
Imagine driving all the way and you see glacier on the side, each side. It's crazy.
Yes.
And maybe in 50 years it's all gonna be gone because the world is getting warmer.
drive an hour
here
east
gonna
on
be
the
all
Ring
water?
Road and visit one of the most scenic canyons in Iceland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but it looks like something straight out of a fantasy movie. Don't be surprised if you see a troll walking around there.
Ooh.
If you drive another 3 hours down the Ring Road, you'll reach Stoksnes. It's such a dramatic view with the black sand and the mountain in the background. On the other side of Iceland, you can visit Kirkjufeldsfoss. It's this uniquely shaped mountain that
Just
looks
look at
like
the shape
Gandalf's
like
hat.
this.
There's a
Yeah.
waterfall
Like
nearby.
pyramids.
And it makes
Yeah,
for an
even
incredible-
this. Why? Why are all the shaped like a hat? It's interesting because it's definitely it's the nature, right? It's not a man that did it.
Do you know now, right? Since they found like the oldest pyramid in Indonesia,
Yeah.
like 25,000 years old.
Yeah.
It was a mountain like this.
Yeah.
Now every time I see the mountain like this, it make me think about it.
Maybe in the winter it's all full of ice, and that's why now the shape is like curved like this. Maybe.
If
And
you go in the
ice
wintertime,
just
you
cut
might
it
just
or
get lucky and see the Aurora Borealis. There's just so much to see in Iceland, and I hope everyone can see it at least once in their life. After exploring Iceland, we're going to head over to the Faroe Islands,
Oh.
located right between Norway
Whoa.
and Iceland in the Atlantic Ocean. The
Oh my God, it's in the
archipelago
middle
is
or
made up of
nothing?
18 volcanic islands. Now, special thanks to my friend Ellis Van Jason for providing me this
Whoa.
footage. He's one of the best FPV pilots in the world. I'll link his Faroe Islands video in the description.
He was
It's gonna
driving?
blow your mind. No, I have
It's
to
a
say
drone.
the Faroes are home
it's
to
a
some of the
drone.
world's most
He's not
dramatic
driving.
landscapes, from the sheer secrets to
Flying?
the ocean. The Faroes have so much to offer.
Whoa. Look at this.
Waterfall straight
It
into
looked
the
like,
ocean. The Faroes have
A shirt, like a human shirt, short, and you cut this body.
Yes.
Like a horror movie.
so much to offer. One of the most scenic places in the Faroe Islands is the
Múlafossur.
waterfall. It's located on Vagar Island, and the waterfall.
I don't
is
see any
100
humans so
feet
far. People
down to
living
the
there or
ocean
no?
Below. One of my personal favorite places is the island of Kalsoy. It has an
Kalsoy.
incredible lighthouse that overlooks some of the
Oh my
biggest sea cliffs
God.
I've ever seen. After the Faroes, we're going to head over to Denmark to visit
Copenhagen.
Now, Copenhagen started as a
Copenhagen.
Viking fishing village in the
Whoa.
10th century and became the economic center of Scandinavia.
So
during the
jealous in
Renaissance.
Europe.
Today, Copenhagen is the cultural, economic, and governmental center of Denmark. One of the most
Whoa.
recognizable places in Copenhagen is the Nyhavn Canal. It's a 17th century canal that is lined with beautifully
Wow,
colored
did you
houses.
see this?
Nyhavn Canal. It's a 7th
Look at the house color. Yellow, green, white, red, blue. It's all different color.
I'm curious. This is the hotel, guest house, or condo?
I don't know.
People own it or not? Or
And the window, it reminds me of the flag, but they're all inverted, the different way. But it reminds me of the flag of
18th
all the
century canal
Nordic
that is
countries.
lined with
They have
beautifully
those flag
colored
with
houses and
the
historical
line.
wooden ships. It's just a great place to walk around and enjoy some Danish restaurants and cafes. Another impressive spot in the city is the Copenhagen
Opera
Opera
House.
House. It's
Oh.
one of the most modern and expensive opera houses ever built, with an estimated cost of $500 million.
From the outside, it
After
doesn't look that
Copenhagen,
pretty,
we're
but
gonna head
I'm
over
sure
to
it's
the
pretty
nearby
inside.
Malmo,
Oh.
located on Sweden's southern coast.
Eurovision.
Malmo is the country's
Eurovision this year is gonna be in Malmo, Sweden.
oh,
Yes.
it's gonna be in that building.
In that
third
city.
largest city. The 8 kilometer. The coolest features of the city is the turning torso skyscraper. It's a 190-meter tall tower that
Whoa.
was built in 2005. It's
Oh
the
my God.
tallest building in Scandinavia, and it's claimed to be the world's first twisted skyscraper. And it's just such a unique feature that
Whoa.
adds to the beauty of
This look
Malmo.
like something.
Right next to the turning torso is one of
Whoa.
Europe's biggest skate parks. Malmo is such a charming city that you gotta check out. After Malmo, we're gonna head over to Sweden's capital,
Stockholm.
Stockholm. I was able to visit Stockholm last summer, and I was just pleasantly surprised. It's made up of 14 islands and 50 bridges.
Cute, you
Compared
have
to other
good life.
Nordic countries such as Norway and Iceland, I felt Sweden was much more affordable. I had a good time walking around the city and using their public transportation. I swear I rode on the world's biggest escalator. I just love the buildings and architecture there.
So
It
much
reminded me a
water.
lot of Copenhagen,
Jesus.
with its colorful buildings and canals full of wooden ships.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a wonderful city, and I think everyone
They have so
should
much
give it
city
a
like this in
visit.
Europe with a lot of water. It's something that I've never grew up with all that hot water and the restaurant around the
Want to
canal.
visit some of Sweden's nature? I'd highly recommend driving to the northern part of the country. I did a road trip there a few summers ago, and it was just beautiful driving through endless pine trees and quaint Swedish landscapes. A beautiful place to visit in northern Sweden is Ristafallet. It's one of Sweden's most powerful waterfalls. It's a 14-meter drop and over 50 meters wide, making it a stunning amphitheater shape. I mean, just such a magical spot. Now, after exploring Sweden, we're going to head over to neighboring Finland. Now, for the past 3 years, Finland has been ranked the happiest country in the world, thanks to its wonderful healthcare, education, and obviously its beautiful scenery.
Wow, look at the
On
tree.
the same note, the capital of Finland, Helsinki, has been ranked the happiest and most livable city in the world.
Wow, this
Helsinki
looks
is
similar
one of
to
the
Montreal,
northernmost
to Canada.
metropolitan areas. The whole city just has a great vibe to it. I mean, I would love to spend Christmas there. Now, if you want to venture out of Helsinki, you can take a ferry across the Baltic Sea to visit Tallinn, Estonia, or you can even head over to St. Petersburg, Russia. If you want to see some of Finland's nature, you can head up north to visit Lapland.
Lapland,
Now,
I've heard of
is Finland's
Lapland.
northernmost region, and it borders Russia, Sweden, and Norway.
that look like
In the winter
rabbits.
months, Lapland becomes a frozen wonderland that looks like something straight out of a Disney movie. Now, if you can handle the cold, Lapland may be one of the best places in the world to see the northern lights.
Is it that
The
city?
northern
I've heard of this. Is it that city where it gets dark 24 hours per day at some point? I've heard of that city, but I don't remember where I've heard of
lights
that
are
city.
abundant throughout the cold winter months. It can get up to negative 50 degrees Celsius in the winters, so make sure you bundle up. One thing I love about Lapland is the snow-covered trees. They look like something out of a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah, this is
the
crazy.
capital of Lapland is the Arctic city of Rovaniemi.
Rovaniemi.
About 4 miles south of the Arctic Circle. Rovaniemi is the largest city in all of Europe by land area. It's considered to be the official hometown of Santa Claus. I can't think of a better place to visit during Christmas time.
You have never
This
seen
is
snow,
such a
right?
cool remote city. Now, after Finland, we're going to head back to Norway to visit the capital of
Oslo.
Located on Norway's southern coast at the start of the Oslo Fjord. Oslo was founded at the end of the Viking Age during the 11th century. Today, Oslo is one of Europe's fastest growing cities. I love all the modern buildings and museums throughout the city. The Oslo Opera House is an impressive piece of architecture that resembles the
Again, just like the one in
was
Denmark.
completed
I
in
don't like the
2007 and features
architecture of
slanted
their
marble
opera
and
house.
granite slates that slide down to
weird.
the water.
Economy
After
go
Oslo,
fast.
we're going to head over to Lyseboten to drive down Norway's
This one.
craziest road. Now, Lyseboten
It's
is
like
a
a
small
snake.
village that's about a 6-hour drive from Oslo. Now, what I think is so scenic about
Whoa.
Lyseboten
Oh my
is the
God.
road that leads down to it. It consists of 27 hairpin turns that descend down the fjord to the village below. When you're at the bottom,
I mean,
you're going to be amazed.
Let's be real. It's nice to do it once, but imagine someone that have to go that
work.
way every day, right? It doesn't feel very convenient. Like it's a good tourist thing, but do you want to go there every day? It seemed like a headache for no reason, right?
Oh my god, I'm not
that
gonna
descend
handle
down the
that.
fjord
Be
to the
able to
village
handle
below.
that.
When you're at the bottom, you're going to be amazed
Oh,
by
look
the
at
surrounding
this! I
walls
saw
of the
this.
fjord. If you're down for a hike, you can trek 12 kilometers to Geiranger, which is
Geiranger.
famous for its rock wedge between two
Whoa.
cliff walls. Looks a little sketch to me, but hey, I'd send it. After Lyseboten, we're going to head over to the nearby Pulpit Rock.
Pulpit
Located
Rock.
in the same fjord as
Pulpit.
Lyseboten, Pulpit Rock is a famous flat-top cliff with a straight drop of over 600 meters. To get there, you can park in the base camp and make the 6-kilometer hike. The rock can be
Whoa.
super packed, so if you want to avoid the crowds, you can wake up super early and get to Pulpit
Whoa.
Rock to enjoy the sunrise. I mean, I can't think of a better place to watch the sunrise. I just can't believe how big the cliff walls are. I mean, they just go straight down to the fjord below. It's just such a stunning place. Alright, so another hike to do in Norway is the trek to Trolltunga. Now, Trolltunga
Trolltunga.
is possibly the most iconic rock formation in Norway as it shoots out over 2,000 feet from the lake below. Trolltunga is definitely the hardest hike of the three. It's a 28-kilometer round-trip trek that takes anywhere from 8 to 12 hours to do.
So
So
much
make sure you give
nature.
yourself plenty of time. You can start the hike at the
That's
main
why
trailhead
foreigner
and
love to
hike in
walk.
14 kilometers in to reach the famous Trolltunga Rock. If you go
Whoa.
between June 1st and September 30th, you don't need a tour guide, but if you go in the winter months, you definitely need one because it is a little sketch. While it is a strenuous hike, it offers some of the best views in Norway. From Trolltunga, we're going to make the 7-hour journey to the magical town of Bergen.
Bergen.
Located on Norway's southwest coast and surrounded by mountains and fjords, Bergen is one of Norway's most charming cities.
Wow.
Bergen was founded back in the 11th century. Thanks to its maritime trade domination, Bergen was the largest city in Norway until the 1830s. Today,
Whoa.
it's famous for its colorful wooden houses on the old
Yeah.
wharf. If you're in the city, you can hike to the Floyen mountain to get
Hike
amazing
again.
panoramic views of the city. After Bergen, we're going to take a drive on one of Norway's most famous routes, the Atlantic Ocean Road.
Do you like all of those roads? You really love those roads. Why do you like those roads?
Because look, both sides when you drive, this one is good to go to work through this way.
Yeah, you're gonna do it? Okay.
This 8.2
Ah!
kilometer road runs
Actually, I
across
saw
an
this
archipelago
on
of
the-
islands as it connects the
some-
islands of Averroy to the
some video.
Romsdal Peninsula. The Atlantic Ocean Road was completed in 1989 and cost 122 million Norwegian krone to make. It's made up of 8 bridges and 4
Whoa.
resting places. The route is an impressive feat of engineering and it won the Norwegian Construction of the Century Award. So if you decide to go on a Norway road trip, you have to take a drive on the Atlantic Ocean Road. While we're still on the topic of roads, if you drive just 2 hours south, you'll reach another
No,
one
I'm
of
not going to
Norway's
work
most famous
with this
routes,
one.
Trollstigen.
You're not going to
Now,
Trollstigen?
Trollstigen, or the Troll's Path, is a serpentine
Oh
road
my God.
that makes over 11 hairpin turns as it descends on a 10% decline to the valley below. Trollstigen has 2 powerful waterfalls that pass through the road. The
Whoa.
Stigfossen waterfall has a total height of 240 meters.
I mean, there's a lot of
which is
people that have
freaking
car
huge.
there.
Another
Yeah,
really cool place
it's probably
in the area
normal
is
road.
Trollvegen, or the
Trollsvigen.
Troll's Wall. It's Europe's tallest vertical overhanging rock face at about 3,000
A lot of place with troll in the name. I'm guessing that it's not just the little creature, right? There's probably another meaning for that.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Alright, after Trollstigen, you
Whoa.
can make the 2-hour drive south to visit the Geiranger Fjord. Now,
Geiranger
Geiranger Fjord
Fjord.
is one of Norway's most popular destinations. The fjord is over 260 meters deep and is surrounded by massive mountains that are over 1,600 meters high. There are many viewpoints to get the best perspective
Oh
of
my
the fjord.
God.
One of the most spectacular features of Geiranger Fjord is the Seven Sisters waterfall. The waterfall consists of
Whoa.
7 separate streams that descend 410 meters to the water below. The best way to see the fjord is by boat. You can take a cruise ship or a 1-hour ferry of Geiranger to Helisilt for about $35. This is by far the best way to witness the waterfalls and majesty of the fjord. Another amazing nearby destination is Lovatnet. The lake is
Lovatnet.
about a 2-hour drive from Geiranger. Now Lovatnet is home to some of the most beautiful lake water.
Whoa.
It has a unique turquoise hue with incredible backdrop of the mountains. While Lovatnet is stunningly beautiful, the area has had its fair share of tragedies over the last few centuries.
Oh, yes.
In 1905,
Why
a
the
massive
water's so
rock from
calm?
the Rumnefjell mountain came loose and fell 500 meters where it hit the water.
I remember
and
that.
It caused a 40-meter tidal wave
Whoa.
that wiped out a small village completely off the map and killed many others. Despite the tragic history, Lovatnet is a place you gotta visit. It's hard to beat the beauty of this Norwegian lake. After Lovatnet, we're going to
Whoa.
make the 3-hour drive to Ålesund. Ålesund is
Ålesund.
one of Norway's most prominent fishing
Oh
towns
my
built on a uniquely shaped archipelago. Similar to Bergen, it's home to beautifully colored buildings perched right
Wow.
up against the ocean. To get one of the best views of the city,
You wake
can
up
go
with
to the
this. Oh.
Rampin viewpoint or Mount
Yeah.
Axla lookouts. Both
Every
will give
day.
you incredible panoramic views of the fjords and archipelago. If you go to Ålesund during
Whoa.
the winter months, you might get lucky and witness the stunning Aurora Borealis as it dances across the Norwegian sky. Well, that is it from my Nordics Top 25. Let me know
Wow.
where your favorite place in the Nordics.
Actually, I'm curious. Do they ever have like water flood?
Water flood?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We're lucky in Canada. We don't really have water flood. In Thailand, it's extremely common to have water flood. All the electricity in Thailand is overground
Yeah.
because there's a lot of waterfall.
Water
Yeah.
flood.
Water flood, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm curious because, there's almost like water around and also especially the road like that. Yeah, I'm thinking when there's a lot of rain, or maybe there's not a lot of rain. That why.
Maybe. I'm not sure.